We are here with Devan Kipyego, the New Balance Nationals 1 mile champion.
Yeah.
Devan, you just ran a second race 20 minutes after.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now? I can't imagine great.
I'm a little hurting. I went out in 53. I heard the announcer saying Kipyego, and you better watch out for Kipyego. So I was like, I got to move off. And I just went out in 53, and I died the last 200. But I gave it all I had for my team, and that was like the biggest thing.
So I got to ask real quick. I wrote in a preview. I called you inconsistent. I apologize. We talked about this. You said you read it. So I just got to know. Like, you proved me wrong, but is that
Did you
something
text him?
No, we talked about it. He's right over there, right at that fence.
Yeah, I remember it was yesterday afternoon. I was like, I remember reading an article. Writing about Brooks, about the Brooks preview mile.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I was like, this guy called me inconsistent.
Which
I don't appreciate that.
I apologize, because going back, I see now you got tripped too.
Yeah, I mean, like, I had a bad meet at St. Louis. I had to say that, but I think that was because of Alabama. I ran great at Alabama. Ran 4:03. You know, it was a great race, and coming back 3 days later, hopping on a plane back to St. Louis, it was kind of hard on my body, and I think I should have learned how to say no, or like, hey, I can't come to this meet. You know, I gotta rest up for my body, and I gotta figure out what meets I have to do and what means I should do, and that's what comes with NCAA of like, hey, like, coaches are gonna help you with that, you know.
Well, it's kind of like a life experience that you've had this year. You've been flying all across the country to amazing meets, hanging out with your friends.
Yeah, I mean, that's another big thing. Like, I love hanging out with, like, all the guys like Simeon, Jackson, Connor, like Aaron. Like, Aaron's been one of my best friends. Like, when we went out to Arcadia, I stayed with Aaron because he's such a good friend, and, like, I really enjoy his company. So, like, that's the biggest thing.
So I feel like a lot of times in every class, close runners, like, you hang out with each other, you get really close, but I feel like this class is a little different. Like, can you talk about that a little bit? I feel like this class of 2023 is a little closer than we've seen high schoolers get.
Yeah, I mean, I think because we're such a top-tier level, we're, like, I don't think, like, it kind of separates from, like, the class 2023 kind of separates from the rest. You know, Simeon's running awesome. You know, he ran 359 last year. Now he's coming back and running 337. Connor's also doing amazing things. Like, I feel like we're all just going to another level. We're like, where we want a competition, we have to race to each other because we want to stay in high school. Like, Simeon has the rule where if he goes into a pro race, he can't run high school anymore. So, like, we all kind of come together and say, hey, like, this is what race we're gonna run at, and we all kind of just come together.
I mean, even tonight, you were able to convince Cole, a national champion, to come out and rabbit you for 1,100 meters. I mean, what did you have to do to get such talent to block the win for you?
I mean, I think Cole is just an amazing guy. Like, he is probably the most nicest person, like, I've ever met. Like, you know, he's done a lot for the running community. You know, even, like, he shaved his hair for the little girl, and, like, that's just he's the most heartsome guy there is in the track and field community. Like, he's just a great guy, and he'll do anything to get another person better, even if it means taking away his race for 800 tomorrow when he's racing that to come pace us. You know, he's just a great guy.
Now, he had a CITIUS Mag, I love track and field hat staring you in the face. Did that keep you going?
Oh, that always gets me going. That always keeps me going.
Now, I got to ask, so you're headed to Iowa State next year. You're going to be joining your brother, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned that a little bit, like the transition to college. So what drew you to Iowa State and made you want to commit there?
You know, I think the coaches, you know, Coach Suds, Coach Wallace, they're amazing guys. They know what they're doing there. You know, Zeke just had an amazing mile 1,500 at NCAA's. You know, he didn't race the best. He could have got a lot higher, but he just had an amazing season. You know, the 800 group is just so quality, and they just want to get better and better and better. You know, they're recruiting very well. Even if they're recruiting JUCO, they're just recruiting great guys that they want to have an NCAA title in cross country. They wanna be spectacular in different events, not just the 800. They kind of want to see. No, I just have a great DMR team. And, like, they just have so many things that they want to do, and with that, you know, they're also investing into the track and field community. They're building this beautiful locker room. They're expanding on their 300-meter track where, like, it's just beautiful.
So speaking of getting better and better, you were 4th here last year.
Yeah.
Then indoors, we saw you in Boston. You finished 2nd.
I shouldn't have been 2nd.
I don't know, do we have that picture by chance? And then you come out here, and you're now a national champion. So every time we see you, you keep getting better and better.
Yeah.
You seem a little that 2nd place though indoors.
Yeah,
that's probably what motivated you today.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't want to lose, especially going to Brooks. I know, like, I know Jackson was Stephen Brooks, so I wanted to win. I didn't really care much about time. I wanted to win. It kind of did suck that he tripped me. He cut me off, and that's what happens. I think he's a dirty little runner. Especially indoors. I'm calling my shots out, but it is what it is. It's all about racing, just competing. But yeah, I think there's a transition of me going for time and then competing. Like I've transitioned from going to time to now competing and trying to get to win a national championship.
Is that difficult? Because obviously, look at that picture.
So
that's incriminating right there, Devan.
Okay, hold on. So that's after. If you see his arm, he pushed my arm. That's why I'm inwards. He pushed my arm. I lose balance, and when you lose balance, you're kind of all over the place. So he kind of came in my lane, like how he did at Brooks. He went into the second lane. He does that a lot. He goes in my lane when I'm trying to pass. So he was kind of pushing me because I'm a smaller guy. I'm only 5'8". So he's gonna use his size against me. And he was kind of pushing me, and I came off balance.
Definitely 5'7" after that.
Oh my God.
I'm glad we're getting the context here, because this is the danger of no context.
We all love Jackson. We love Jackson.
Yeah.
But
Great
you're
guy.
a two-time. You should have been two-time national champion, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Like, honestly, it's a national title that, Gary, you're a national championship.
Yeah.
What, two times?
Two times, yeah.
No, you didn't want to give up your outdoor national championship or your indoor national. No. What's rightfully deserved, that was mine.
Where are we going to settle this next?
NCAA's.
So I just want to ask too. You mentioned you and Jackson were roommates at Seattle. So like, is this like a topic of conversation or?
Yeah, no. So when we first got there, I was like, "Yo, Jackson, I know you remember indoors." I brought up my evidence, and he brought up his evidence. My evidence was a lot better than just that one photo. All right, I do have to say that I had clear shots of what actually happened. And so yeah, but we were cool, like great guys. But after Brooks, I was mad. Like for those 30 minutes where I was just mad. I was just like, what the heck? Not again. Like that Brooks, it could have went down to the last 100 meters. Like what I was planning on doing was going around the last 100 meters, like just like the trials of Miles. Remember last year, me versus Miles Hogan, where I took the 400, he took it back on the last 200. Then I wanted to come around the kind of like slingshot and come down the last 100 meters to overtake him, but he kind of.
So I want to watch the race together from tonight. But the thing that I've noticed about you is when you think Devan's tired, he's got another gear. Is that fair to say? Like you show moments of weakness, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, he's good.
Yeah, no, I definitely felt it tonight, and I remember coming like the third lap, coming into the fourth line is where I actually felt it. Like it's a mental game. Like I think track is probably the most mentally hardest sport. Knowing that you might have it strengthily, but mentally you might not have it that day, and you might fall back. But I think today it was like my last mile race. I think right at the start, I wanted to be from this group, but I think I didn't get out hard enough from the first.
So Aaron got out.
Exactly.
Aaron got out.
Aaron likes to get out. In the 800 at Brooks, he likes to get out. So I knew Aaron wasn't. He's a great guy. I knew he was gonna last long. And I was trying to get around. But I felt it was on pace. It was running through 30. So I was like, you know what? Let me just ride on, see what happens. First lap comes through. We come through like I think a 60. But through my hair, I was like, I want to go sub 4. Like that was my last mile race, and I wanted to go sub 4. That was like the biggest thing on my mind. National championship's big thing. Also sub 4 was a big thing. I didn't get it, but I'm not disappointed because winning comes first, and then time comes second.
It's probably really easy to get caught up in this idea of like, I gotta get it, but then you're the one who's gonna have to do it.
Exactly.
And maybe that's not conducive to actually winning the race every single time.
Yeah.
A lot of people break 4. Only one New Balance Nationals mile champion this year.
Exactly.
And on the men's side, Sadie was just here, so I guess two.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, you mentioned too, like you said about that shift in your mindset. Like, is there a point in your season where like that happens and you're like, let's just win races?
Yeah, I think end of the season. I think after St. Louis, out in St. Louis, Hoka, we're like, let's just go win. Like Brooks, I wasn't going for time. I was going for win. Today, time was a considerate. We had a pacer, but obviously the bigger thing was winning. There's only one national championship each year, and I won the national championship. So like, it's nice to see that. But after Hoka, we were like, you can't go for time anymore. Like you just got to win out, and that's.
How relaxed are you able to stay knowing that Cole's just gonna take you where you got to be.
I think I can't say relax at all. Like, that's the thing. Like, Cole, a pacer can only do so much, and the biggest thing is you're going 60 each lap. So, like, it's not easy. Like, Gary, you know, it's not easy going 60, 60, 60, 60, and saying so consecutive for 4 laps.
Gary's actually really good at that. I just want to say. This is a crazy move you make here.
I wanted to talk about this because I'm on the sideline screaming, Devin, go around. Devin, go around. Because you looked good. And I was like, he's got to get with Cole. So, like, in your mind, are you thinking, like, I got to get around these guys. I got to connect with him?
Yes, 100%. Because you got to think, Cole is your rabbit. You got to lash on him. If you don't lash on him, you're gonna lose that. So I definitely wanted to get on him. And I think Cole was a little, and I wanted to kind of surge up to get up to him. And I tried doing that. Cole looks back. I think he kind of slows down a little.
I thought he was going to stay in for a second.
You know, and he looked really good. I mean, and then, I bet he could have kept on going. I'm not going to lie. He looked really good. I bet he could have won the race.
You're a nice guy too, huh?
I mean, to be honest, he looked amazing. Like, thinking about this, like, he looked good. Coming around, I'm like, all right, like, I got to fight. There's Marcus Riley's behind me. Aaron's right behind me.
Marcus looked great too. And
Marcus looked awesome. Like, and I think he had such a slow start to his season. And now coming back, he peaked at the right moment of this race. You know, he's only a junior, so he's come back next year. So I'm like, I look at the time, it's like 3:01, 3:02, and I'm like, I got to get going. I have to go. And I don't know if I lose it the last 200, but I thought I was gonna be on pace. So I'm hurting. You know, I wish I had another person kind of chasing in front of me. But me, I look back. You know,
I was gonna say you can see the grit on your face. Like,
yeah.
You're working hard. Are you at this point? Are you going all out? Or are you saving another gear?
No, I'm going all out because you got to think. Sometimes time, you got to think. If you go all out right now, and it's a shorter turn to win come the last 100 meters. It's not as long as the 100 meters. So you want to keep on going. You want to keep on pushing.
All right, Mac, pause it for us for 1 second here. All right, this is the deal. You've got to call your own last 100 meters. You're the NBC announcer. Third person, Devan Kipyego coming down the home straightaway.
All right.
And I want good enthusiasm. If you want to use a British accent or something, that's allowed. But just like they do on television. Let's hear. Let's see if you're
no pressure.
Future talent.
All right. Whenever you're ready. Kipyego coming down the last 100 meters. Marcus Riley's trying to push hard. Kipyego's going grit. He's pushing the arms. He's going. 401, 402. He's looking like he will win. He breaks the tape. 404.67. Marcus Riley comes behind.
There we go. That's pretty good. Hey. That was like a horse race.
Hey, that's what McGill. So my coach during like our running days, like the last mile or like the last 800, he's like, Kipyego, Rocha, and he'll like get us going. We'll just start dropping like 5 flats just the last mile. Like, he'll always get us going. So like that's kind of how I always like think about it.
So yeah, you've been learning. You know what you need to do.
Hey, how'd you get this job, Gary? How'd you get this job?
Why do you want this job?
I got this job doing what you're doing right now.
Oh, hey, I wouldn't mind.
It's you and Cole, maybe future intern. Yeah. You're coming back tomorrow for an 800.
Yeah.
What do you do to recover between now and then?
A lot of rest. I think today I wanted to stay restful. I took a nap today. I kind of just talked to my girlfriend. You know, didn't really do much. Relaxed, watched some F1, and just stayed in my room and just relaxed. I think the hardest thing about today, which was the time. You know, we warm up. What we thought was about an hour before. But it's really 2 hours, and like, oh my gosh. But it is what it is. You know, we come out here and win, but I think that was kind of the hardest point.
So you're running the 800 tomorrow. Is that your last high school race?
It is. Me and my coach kind of talked to me like, I'm kind of burnt out. I don't really want to do U20s. It was kind of up in the air, but I think I got to focus on NCAAs. And, 800, I'm not in the seeded heat, but I think it's time for a nice PR, and hopefully we go pretty hard and just try to close.
Going out with a bang.
Exactly.
National champion, Devan Kipyego, thanks so much for joining us. Maybe you're in Gary's seat next.
Who knows?
Maybe we're together.